This video is going to complete section 1.6. We had an earlier video on the first part of this. This is going to still be assignment number 8. It's just the end of section 8. We're going to look at composition of functions. Again, notation, very important. The composite function f of g. Now you notice the little open circle that's raised up off the line. That means composite. Open circle. Now the notation is going to be f of g, f open circle g of x, or you're going to see me use this notation. Now notice I've taken in the same order. There's my f, there's my g, and then my x. This to me says f of g of x. And to me, I think of nested parentheses and working from the inside out, and this means a little bit more to me. All right, number 11. Given two functions, find g of f of -1, or you may see it written in my math lab with the open circle, g of f of -1. Now, since I have a number, -1, I'm going to use that first. You're going to work, remember, from the inside out. This, let me get where you can see this. This is what I'm going to be working with. So I'm first going to be working with f of -1. So I'm going to go over to f of x, and every time there's an x, I'm going to put in a -1. So 2 times -1 squared plus 3 times -1 minus 5. That's going to be 2 times 1 minus 3 minus 5, or f of -1 is going to be 2 minus 3 minus 5, so f of -1 is going to be -6. Now that's the value that I'm going to put, if you'll notice, right here. So now I have g of f of -1, but now I have g of, I'm going to replace this with what it actually is, -6, and now I'm going to go to the g function. This outside letter is always your roadmap of where to go. Go to the g function, which is here, and every time you have an x, you're going to replace it with -6. It's x plus 1, and I'm going to replace it with -6 plus 1. So my answer would be -5. Now notice I replaced f of -1 with -6, then I replaced x with -6. All right, let's go to example 12. Now this time we do not have a number given to us. We have f of x and we have g of x, and they're asking us to find f of g of x. So here we go. F of g of x. All right, now remember I'm starting inside, so the first thing I'm going to do is to replace g of x with what it equals, and that's 3x minus 5. Now remember, this outside letter is my roadmap, so I go to this function, which is here, and every time there's an x, I replace it with this. So it says 2 times x plus 1, but this goes in place of x. Now I'm going to multiply and get 6x minus 10 plus 1, which is 6x minus 9. Now let's do the second part. This is going to show you that order is important. This time it asks us to find g of f of x. G of f of x. Now remember, we're starting inside. First thing, I'm going to take f of x and put its replacement right here. Well, f of x is 2x plus 1. Now, my roadmap says I'm going to function g, which is this one. And it says 3 times x minus 5. but this value goes in place of x. And now if we'll multiply, we have 6x plus 3 minus 5, or we have 6x minus 2. If you'll think about this as nested parentheses working from the inside out, it will seem easier.